Okay, I'm actually going to take you on a tour of my regular garden, I guess you could call it. I have several gardens this year because I'm doing things a little differently. Hopefully moving my garden eventually. I have to make sure my dog's with me. Hold on. Okay, so I'm coming out today. I came out today not actually working that much in the garden. I did a little bit. I picked some tomatillos so I can make some, what do you call it? Ratatouille, but I can't have tomatoes, so I'm using tomatillos instead. And I have a patch and I picked a bunch today. So hopefully it's enough. If not, then when I come out, because I'm coming out tomorrow, I will do some more. But I'm gonna take a picture of my garden today because I will not remember tomorrow. Because today we came out and it's fall, of course. So we're doing apples and I picked up all the bad apples on the floor, and then I didn't do anything in the garden except pick a few little things here and there. And so tomorrow I'll show you what I have to do because it's still I still have apples to do, but most of the apples are done. Okay. I don't know if you can see, but the grapes are ready. Of course they're ready. I just did a batch, is that last week? I think it was. And so I have a lot of grape juice already from the other kind, my grandma's grapes. These are my dad's grapes. This is my tomatillos. I have them up, but they still fell over when it rained really bad. So it's my not my Swiss chard, it's my collards. And then over here I have some celery that I'll be picking, and then some greens. That's all for tomorrow. It almost like makes me want to twitch because I'm not picking today. I just couldn't. My tomatoes, they always get this blight stuff and kills some of them, not all of them. It's kind of annoying. I still get plenty of tomatoes, but it's just rather frustrating. And then there's this row, and this row. There's 3 rows of beans, 2 bush, and then one with the sunflowers over there is pole beans, and yes, they need to be picked. I'm not picking them today. It's gonna be tomorrow. I invited some friends to come over and pick in my garden tomorrow, just to give me a little bit of a break. We canned like 42 jars of green beans today, and I just don't really want to do any more green beans tomorrow. So these are my dry beans. They're starting to turn. So I've never done dry beans before, so it was a new experience. Other than lima beans, those I've done. It's gonna be different. So we'll see how they do. I have some Swiss chard here. I think there's 2 actually there. And then this is what I picked out of my garden today. A couple of tomatoes that I just walked past, some tomatillos, eggplant, some summer squash. There's a couple of okra in there and some more tomatillos. You can see right there. I don't know if anybody knows anything about okra, but I'll show you. Something's wrong with my okra. It's like slowly dying. Hoping somebody can tell me what happened, but this is what it does. It slowly dies. Sometimes it doesn't die all the way. That's the weird thing. Is like this one completely died, but that one, I don't know. But those just started producing again, and then they got better. I don't understand that. These ones are off the same kind of way. They're all having like, and the weird thing is, it's like I can like touch the leaf and it like falls off. I don't get it. So I need to figure out what it is. This happened to me last year as well. So I need to figure out what exactly the problem is so I can fix it for next year. Because I lost several plants. Yeah, see like this one? That one's like really tiny, and that one seems to be okay. But the bigger ones got sick. I don't get it. And these are my eggplants. I had white ones that I picked quite a few. The purple ones are just starting. They're a little bit smaller. Alright, and in here are peppers. And there's my other okra that looks terrible. And I have hot peppers, and I have some cherry tomatoes. I actually haven't picked any cherry tomatoes yet this year, which is kind of strange. I'm usually like overrun with them. And then right here you can see is my tomatillo patch. Let's see. I picked a bunch on this side. That's what I picked today. You can kind of see I kind of made a spot in there. And then this is my corn patch. there's one piece of corn I didn't miss. But look, here's my beets, and I have lettuce. So the next time it rains is I'm cleaning out my potato patch, and then I'm going to take stakes and put stakes by each potato plant, because this patch isn't as bad, but the other patch doesn't have very many. So because I want to plant some lettuce and stuff in there. So some more Swiss chard. And then in here is, and it's hard to tell, I have beans that are, I don't know if you can tell, right here, these are beans. And then there's kohlrabies in here with some arugula. And then in here, I don't know if you can tell, here I have some celery, some basil, some kale, and then down there are some onions, some flowers, of course. And then, let's see, I have some more onions here, some more kale, celery, Swiss chard. I don't know if you can tell, like right back there is peas. They're so pretty right now. I don't have anything, like they're not giving me anything, but over here are it's my squash. And I grew these right here are cucumbers. I thought these were all dead, and then the bugs went away and they survived. So don't know how that happened, but look, I have tried for years to get these to grow, and I finally have some. I think I have like 5 at home. And then I have some squash. And then that's the first time I've ever grown that kind. I forget what it's called. I have like 6 or 8 of them. I can't, it's so hard to tell in here because it's the end of the year and this is what happens. I did really well with the bugs. I don't know if it's necessarily the bugs, but it got really dry here. And I didn't water this. So I'm sure that didn't help. And then over here is another row of beans. And then you can see there's some more of that squash. And over here are some beans as well. I tried to intersperse it with beans, hoping that it would help with the bug issue. And it actually did help a lot. I actually only had one section that got attacked by bugs. So some more beans here. And in here somewhere, I have my loofah sponges. See if I can find one to show you right here. See? I have a couple, probably like 6 or so. Like there's one. So this is the first time I've actually gotten them to grow decently. Like sometimes I'll just get them and they'll be like, the size of my finger, but that's pretty neat that I got them to grow this year. And there's beans in there too. This side is pretty much done. It's my melons, and we've been picking and eating the melons. You can see there's one here. I picked a watermelon the other day, and I still have one, not in this row, a different row. If I see it, I'll show you. Here's some more. I have lettuce, and I have some greens over there. I believe those are turnip greens. And then these are obviously some beets. And here's my squash. And I know it's hard to tell, but the blueberries are in there. Over there are some more beets. And then there, you can see I have a row of celery right there. And over there are my peas I was talking about. And then here you can see I have some kohlrabies in here. Let's see what else I got over here. This one has some more melons. There's melons all the way along here. And it's hard to tell, and I'm not going to walk down there. And then look, is my flowers pretty? I planted flowers at the end here, which is so cool. These are, my daughter bought me these. She always buys me flowers every year, and I absolutely love it because I like planting flowers in my garden, but I don't always do it because I don't want to spend money on it. She always gets them for me. That's so sweet of her. But here's the first one that's bloomed. It's red. Here's my watermelon, one of them. The other one I picked, and I think there might be another one in here, but as you can see, these are very full bean rows that need to be picked. I'm doing that tomorrow. All right, this is the potato patch that I've told you about that I really need to just go through. And there's only a couple of plants in here for potatoes. So I want to stake them and then pull the rest of the weeds out and then just put fall crops in here. Like lettuce, spinach, that kind of thing. And then all of these, I don't know if you can tell, they're 5 rows. They're all beans. And then there's pumpkins along the side right here. It's really hard to walk in there. I'm not going to. I don't typically go this way around because it's kind of miserable. This is my raspberry patch that was supposed to have moved this year. And hopefully I will get to move it next year. My dad wants me to put it where my like dry beans are. And I wanted raspberries this year, so I didn't move them. So anyway, this is my carrots. These are the carrots that my mom planted for me. If my mom plants me carrots, I get carrots. So I'm super excited. I mean, look at that. They're huge. And then I have some kale down here. Probably should pick some of it. And then over here I have some more carrots. These are the carrots I grew. You can tell because there aren't very many. I think there's some radishes in here too. Really need to go through and like pick some of these up, but look at this. That's huge. They're the big radishes. This is the strawberry patch. My mom and I both kind of work on this. Every time it rains really good, we're out here pulling weeds. It's like a never-ending nightmare project, but that's just how strawberries are. They're worth it. Okay. This is my cabbage patch, I guess you could call it. And then I also have a celery right there, and there's some tomatillos right there on the end, because that's my raspberry patch. This was the strawberry patch, just needs to go bye-bye. Let's see, there's some broccoli right there, and then these, I don't know if you can tell, but this is my Brussels sprouts. There's some more broccoli. I get to pick broccoli tomorrow. And some more peppers. I have some hot peppers too. I've picked a couple of cabbages and they're regrowing. You can tell that one is regrowing already. And then this is where most of my peppers are coming from. I finally put the plastic, because that's where the strawberries were last year, so finally put the plastic over it. But this is the row I was telling you about. I have some more tomatillos here. But this is the row of carrots that I grew that my mom actually watched me plant. I know this seems dumb, but I don't know how to plant them, and she does. So there's actually carrots in there, and you can see them. And then these are the 3 rows of beans from the other side. I'm going to show you over here. This is the back side of my tomato patch. My walking onions, it's really hard to tell because there's weeds in there and there's flowers and tomatillos in there. So, and then this is my cauliflower patch. It's not just cauliflower, it's the cole crops. So I planted them in there. We'll see how they do. Some, like you can see, they did really well, and then I just replanted some. So, but this is my sweet corn. Probably need to pick that tomorrow. I left my one sunflower here. And I haven't taken any home. I've just been leaving them here because I just love them so much. Aren't they pretty? I mean, look at that. How can you beat that? I didn't plant them, they planted themselves. But there's another one over here. This is another sunflower. And then this is my, what do you call it? Dry beans. I've never grown them before, so it's gonna be an adventure, but they just look really funny to me. Some more sunflowers. And I have 2 squash plants, one here and one there. And they have nasturtiums in the middle. And it did pretty good for bugs. And then if you can see right here, there's a piece of plastic down, and that's all pumpkins. I've gotten probably 10 pumpkins in there. So this section right here is where my dad wants me to plant the raspberries. So next year maybe I'll do that. Move the raspberry patch. He wants to till this spot, like here, all the way up, and it needs it. So next year I'll probably move everything, because we got rid of all the weeds over there. We just put plastic down over there. It's just we threw weeds on the plastic, so it looks funny. But anyway, I'm show you my favorite flower. I know it's hard to tell, but these are 4 o'clocks. 4 o'clocks and balsams are my favorites. So, and sunflowers. I guess I have 3 favorites, but anyway. Okay. Now you saw my garden, and I know it's been a while since I did a tour. It's just been crazy, and I come and work in my garden, and I don't think about the fact that I should record. And I know I'll regret it later. I already do regret it because so much has happened in my garden and I didn't record it. But I can't go back, so hopefully I can keep up better this year, but for the rest of the year, because we still have about a month left to garden yet, so I still have a lot of time to catch up with myself, I guess. So anyway, thank you for coming on my garden tour with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.